After 9 years undercover, I finally made it home. My wife had cooked a whole table full of food to welcome me back. But right when I was happily digging in, I noticed her right fingers tapping on the table in a steady rhythm. My blood froze instantly. That wasn't random tapping, it was Morse code. I didn't look up. I kept eating like nothing was wrong, while under the table I pieced together what she was tapping. Run, there are 10 bugs in the house. My heart sank and I almost froze mid-chew. Slowly I looked up at her. She was still smiling softly. Honey, eat up. I made all your favorites today. But her eyes weren't filled with simple joy anymore. Behind those beautiful eyes was fear and desperation. She was desperately trying to tell me to leave. I forced myself to swallow the food and bury the storm rising inside me. I couldn't panic. 9 years undercover had forged my nerves into steel. The more dangerous it got, the calmer I had to be. Yeah, nothing beats home cooking. I've just been on the road too long and I'm exhausted. I'm dirty too. I'm gonna take a shower and change. A flash of urgency crossed her eyes, but she quickly covered it up. She nodded with a strained smile. Okay, go ahead. Oh, and I already heated the water for you. I stood up and walked to the bathroom. Every step was steady, but every muscle in my body was on high alert. The second I shut the bathroom door, I didn't turn on the shower. I started searching the whole room. Behind the mirror, the ceiling, the vent, the toilet, the tank. I checked every place something could be hidden. Sure enough, in a hidden groove under the sink, I felt something cold, about the size of a matchbox. I didn't take it out. I just traced its shape with my fingertips. A military-grade bug, the newest model, with a 500-meter range. Sensitive enough to pick up heartbeats. A cold sweat broke out across my back. This wasn't ordinary surveillance, this was professional. Who was behind this? Had my mission been exposed? Or was my wife under someone's control? It meant the whole house was basically a dead zone for me. Every word I said, every move I made was being watched. Running now wasn't an option. If I left, what would happen to her? If they could plant the house with bugs, then they already had complete control over her. The second I ran, she'd be dead. I couldn't leave. Not only could I not leave, I had to act like I knew nothing and stay long enough to flush them out. I rinsed off fast and changed into the clean pajamas she'd prepared for me. When I walked out of the bathroom, my face was calm again. She was sitting on the couch, watching some boring variety show and laughing like nothing was wrong. But I knew she was acting, putting on a show for unseen eyes and ears. I walked over, sat beside her, picked up an apple, and started peeling it slowly with a knife. Babe, these past few years have been hard on you. Not really, as long as you made it back safe. It's just, my dad hasn't been doing too well lately. He keeps asking about us. Can you come back to my parents' place with me tomorrow and see him? My hand stopped mid-peel. That wasn't part of the Morse code. Going back to her parents' place was new information. I looked at her. Her eyes were full of hints and pleading. Then I got it. Her parents' place didn't mean her actual parents' house. It was a code only the two of us understood. It was the emergency contact point we'd agreed on before I left, a place that was absolutely safe. Okay, we'll head back first thing tomorrow. At dawn the next morning, we got up. We moved like the most ordinary married couple, washing up and eating breakfast. She straightened my clothes. I fixed her hair. Before we left, she held my arm and rested her head on my shoulder. Honey, I'm scared. Her voice was quiet, and this time the fear in it was real. I knew she wasn't scared of seeing her parents. She was scared of what we were about to do. I patted her hand and whispered in her ear, "Don't be. I've got you." That wasn't just for her. It was for the people listening too. I wanted them to think I was nothing more than a husband coming home after 9 years, still crazy about his wife. We drove the old family car, a Volkswagen we'd had for nearly 10 years. Before getting in, I gave it my usual once-over. No tracker under the car, no fresh listening devices inside. Apparently, they thought the 10 bugs in the house were enough to keep me under control. The car rolled out of the neighborhood, and in the rearview mirror, I spotted a black Buick tailing us at just the right distance. So yeah, this was definitely about me. Hold on. At the next intersection, with 3 seconds left on the green, I didn't slow down. I hit the gas. We flew through just as the light turned red. The black Buick got trapped behind traffic. They lost us? Not yet. A professional tail never uses just one car. They'll cut in from another intersection soon. And sure enough, less than 5 minutes later, a silver Honda appeared behind us. My wife's face turned pale again. While I tried to calm her down, my brain was already mapping routes. I couldn't go straight to our safe point. That would be way too obvious. That would have basically told them I knew they were there. I needed to make one stop first, somewhere that could throw them off and buy us a little room. I jerked the wheel and the car swung into a side road. Where are we going? To your real parents' house. 20 minutes later, we pulled up outside my in-laws' apartment complex. I got out with her carrying fruit and supplements I'd already prepared. I could feel eyes hidden in the dark, locked on me. Good. I wanted them to see that we were really just here to visit the old folks. My in-laws were shocked and thrilled to see me. They pulled me in and kept asking question after question. My wife played along, but her face stayed pale the whole time. I made an excuse to use the bathroom. The second I shut the door, I pulled out my phone. It had a brand new SIM and number, something I'd picked up from a roadside stall on my way back yesterday. I didn't make a call. I quickly typed a text. Plan A is live. Target has appeared, requesting backup. I sent it to an encrypted number. 3 seconds later, a reply came in. Just one word. Copy. I deleted everything and walked back out. We stayed at my in-laws' place all morning, eating, chatting, watching TV, just like a completely normal family gathering. Then at 2 p.m., I said to my father-in-law, "Dad, I'm taking her to the mall, gonna buy her some clothes." Go ahead. You better make it up to Shaolu." We headed out again, and sure enough, that silver Honda was still parked outside the complex. The second we came out, it started following us. I drove straight to the busiest mall downtown. I parked in the underground garage, then took her hand and walked into the crowd. We didn't go anywhere near the clothing section. Instead, we went straight up to the movie theater on the 5th floor. I bought 2 tickets for the next showing, some big Hollywood action movie. Inside the dark theater, we found our seats. I could feel at least 2 people had followed us in and sat a few rows behind us. I didn't turn around, I just set the popcorn in her lap. The movie started and the sound blasted through the theater. When everyone's attention was on the screen, I leaned over and whispered in her ear, "In 3 minutes, there's gonna be a huge explosion in the movie. The lights will flicker. The second I pull you, we move through the emergency exit on the left." She nodded nervously. Her palms were soaked with sweat. Second by second, time crawled forward. On the screen, the hero was trying to defuse a bomb. 3, 2, 1. Boom. A massive blast shook the movie, and the lights strobed with the scene. Now. I yanked her up and rushed low and fast toward the emergency exit on the left. We shoved the door open and dove into the pitch-black stairwell. Behind us came shouts and scrambling footsteps from the 2 men. They'd caught on, but too late. The emergency stairs were dark and endless. I dragged her all the way down to basement level 2, the mall's loading area. The air was damp and musty. Footsteps pounded down the stairs, getting closer and closer. They were definitely coming after us. She was so scared she held her breath and clutched my arm. I pressed a finger to my lips, telling her not to make a sound. 2 men in jackets charged into basement level 2.